Well, this leads into this new Fringe theory that I ran into.
Talk to me about this new Fringe theory, Matt.
I got an email yesterday.
Oh, well.
From someone I believe that watches and listens to the show.
We'll check in, sir.
And it was wild. But basically, the premise of the email was, do you remember the Irina stabbing?
Yeah.
And the Irina stabbing, and the whole country was thinking about that.
Yes.
They tried to cover it up. They didn't want people to see it. And it was spreading faster than any video had ever spread.
Can I cut in for just a second?
Yes.
I have a colleague of mine who bought a gun this week. I can show you the text message. He bought it because of Irina.
Yeah.
He lives in, let's just say, the southeast region. And I could, and you know, you don't want to make any assumptions like, why did you buy it? But he literally just freely stated, I bought this because, you know, it's just not safe in my area of town anymore. And I'm like, bro, first time? Welcome to the show. You know, first time? Like, okay, people are actually changing their lifestyles because of what happened to Irina.
Correct. And the theory that he proposed was that was actually organic. That
not a crisis actor?
Not a crisis actor. That they did not plan for that to happen. And it created such an uproar. It was uncontrollable. It was spreading so fast.
Yeah.
They were not ready for this. And the solution, the deep state solution theory, was that they just had to take someone out and shift the narrative.
Are you serious?
That it was not him, Charlie, specifically. It was that it was the most opportune person at the opportune time in a public situation, because how else do you shift the narrative from, hey, look at what's going on here, everyone freak out, to something different?
Something that we can control.
Exactly.
Okay, so let me amalgamate, because this is what I do. What you're saying, Matt, is that the Matrix, let's say Palantir, some business analyst in Palantir in a dungeon said, wah, wah, wah. This Irina thing is outside of our control.
Yes. It's
spreading like wildfire. White people are waking up. They're realizing there's this per capita thing that black people clearly can't figure out. And they're starting to get riled up. They're starting to get rowdy. They're starting to take action. Uh-oh. Peter Thiel, I see the dashboard's telling me that something that we can't control that happened in the Matrix, we need to do something about it, is what you're saying.
Yes. It is becoming uncontrollable. People are getting pissed off. It is not controlled chaos. It is organic chaos. We don't need that in our
Matrix.
It doesn't serve our purpose and our interest at this moment. How do we shift the narrative?
So you're telling me that the random stabbing of an innocent white girl is going to be negated by the shooting of a white boy? How is this reducing the conflagration of white people getting really upset?
I don't think it's about white people getting upset. It's about how the reaction was. This can be politicized. This can be manipulated. This can be moved around. The Irina thing, that was completely out of everyone's control.
You can't control the white people with Irina. However, you can control the white people and the conservatives with Kirk.
Correct. And again, not Kirk specifically. It just happens to be that he was doing a public talk at that time, and like, okay, because this was all literally the day leading into the shooting of Charlie Kirk.
Do you think
who else is available at night? Well, Charlie's going up on stage. Okay, that's a guy.
And Palantir is telling us his analytics are.
Yeah, we have to make a quick decision. We need to fix this immediately. What can we do? All right, which is why the whole thing is so sloppy. Which is why it seems really haphazard.
But they're still going to get away with it.
I mean, that's why
Kash Patel going on TV is making it worse.
That's why they make sure that they corrupt the jury pool. They give them a public defender. They put out these text messages. They put out the evidence. I mean, this kid's never going to get a fair trial, by the way. Of course.
It's a shit show.
Obvious.
It's a shit show already.
They put him out in this suicide vest. Every time you see him, he's wearing the suicide vest now because obviously, like, they're gonna say he unalived himself eventually.
Or people want to kill him. Fair enough. So,
Interesting theory.
it's an interesting theory, but my issue with that theory is you're giving Palantir, and I'm just saying Palantir as some object that we can latch onto here as the all-seeing eye, Big Brother, right?
Yeah, Palantir, deep state, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. This asserts that they have that much power to move this quickly. That you are asserting that they have that much surveillance apparatus, that they can amalgamate and conglomerate and congeal all this data so quickly that they can look at the world in mass and say, this Irina thing is going out of control.
You did not need metrics or a dashboard to realize that this Irina thing was going out of control.
I just gave you a proof positive example of a person I know who bought their first firearm because of Irina.
There was nothing they can do to reel that in.
It was happened.
Spreading everywhere.
People are buying firearms.
The left, the right, everyone was going crazy over this thing. And then all of a sudden, just like that, narrative shift.
It was quite abrupt. Even you and I talked about this in our podcast because we thought we were hot to trot talking about Irina like the day after, and then as we hit publish, Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and we're like, and
God.
then even in the chat, everyone's like, we just want to talk about Charlie.
Yeah, why are you even talking about this right now? This is more important.
Not wrong. We witnessed it live.
It literally happened because we
And
scheduled
our entire comments on that video is all about Irina.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, about Charlie.
We scheduled that podcast episode, which we recorded before the shooting, to go live at a certain time.
And it went live like an hour after the shooting.
And it went live, and people were like, dude, what are you guys talking about this for?
I know. We were day late, $1 short.
People were mad at us for talking about
I know.
something that just happened. And what everyone in the country was talking about. Isn't it interesting how quickly we shifted away from that?
It was
And
abrupt.
we were kind of dismissive of the Irina stabbing to begin with. I was, at least.
Yeah.
But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, that disappeared really fast.
Well,
that never happens organically.
I
It was
think
scrubbed.
so. The other thing that works against this whole narrative shift from Irina to Charlie Kirk, in my mind, is number one. You're not wrong. You don't need a dashboard to see the sentiment. The sentiment was large. Like people were like, I'm awake now. Both left and right.
Yeah.
And not only that, we saw from the left all the responses of people saying, a white girl got stabbed, boo-hoo, da-da-da. It's like, whoa, you're showing your true colors. Then we see Charlie Kirk and the narrative shift. Like, it was so drastic. It was so abrupt. It was almost violent, the way that we shifted from Irina to Charlie. There was no downtime. It was almost like move from one trauma and absorb the new trauma from the old trauma so you don't worry about the old trauma, Irina. And now the new trauma, Charlie, is all you think about.
Yeah. Oh, it's because of they were going after his free speech and they didn't like his ideas. But fair, fine. But people don't. This country has shown that they are not willing to fight for their free speech.
Brother.
They are not willing to fight for political ideology. What they will fight for is like a random black guy. And not only that, it's not only who killed her, but the video of all those people in that train sitting there watching it happen and doing nothing.
There was a lot of memes of, let's just say, replacing all of the 5 black people watching and going.
And that entire narrative has completely disappeared.
So,
the inaction of people.
So let me ask you this. Oof. I'm going to go a little bit meta here because you extracted me out of this a little bit. Are you saying that the Matrix, the Palantir, they can control political narratives with Charlie, but they cannot control racial narratives because racial narratives are outside of the Israeli system? Does that make sense?
They can control it if it's orchestrated.
If it's racially
planned,
political.
Correct.
But if it's just racial,
if it's just completely organic,
just violence.
And the media for 2 weeks tried to suppress this video, everyone tried to get rid of it. There's nothing they could do to reel that in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, biggest video ever.